The only threat the U.S. for China in South China Sea. China has put its armed forces on high alert after the US and Australia strengthened their joint military presence in the South China Sea amid soaring diplomatic tensions over the coronavirus pandemic. The Ministry of National Defense in Beijing said Australia's joint navigation exercises with the US in the disputed waters threatened regional peace and stability. Officials said they were closely monitoring activities by foreign naval vessels in the volatile region. Defense spokesman Colonel Wu Qian said, "Reality has proven once again that the U.S. is the biggest facilitator of the militarization of the South China Sea, and is a troublemaker for the region's peace and stability. The People's Liberation Army will remain on high alert, and adamantly safeguard national sovereignty, security, and development interests, as well as the peace and prosperity of the region." Australian frigate HMAS Parramatta joined 3 U.S. vessels where a Chinese vessel was suspected to be exploring for oil in an area on which Vietnam and Malaysia also have claims. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has accused Beijing of provocatively building up its presence in the region while the rest of the world was distracted by the coronavirus crisis which began in China. Australia's calls for an independent inquiry into the pandemic has put further strain on the relations between Canberra and Beijing. China's ambassador to Australia, Cheng Jingye, warned demands for an investigation could spark a Chinese consumer boycott of students and tourists visiting Australia, as well as beef and wine sales. Analysts said China could deliberately slow down customs clearances for Australian beef and wine exports in retaliation. This would drive up costs and also create enough uncertainty for buyers to cancel orders. Lynn Guofa, a research director at BRIC Global Agricultural Consultants, said, "There is some political risk. It has happened before with rapeseed from Canada. While it is technically against World Trade Organization rule, China has previously been accused of using regulations and red tape to unofficially slow customs clearances for some products." Wang Dewei, general manager of domestic wine marketing company Jeedco, said nationalistic Chinese consumers could boycott Australian wine but it was unlikely. But he warned China could hurt demand by changing tariff policies to make imports of Australian wine less attractive. He said, "If there was a change in trade policies, this will bring a significant change to Australian wine sales in China." Trade experts said buyers could cancel orders because they were worried about potential hurdles to shipments clearing customs once they arrived in China. Beijing said its military forces were working hard helping other nations tackle coronavirus. Mr. Wu said the People Liberation Army had sent medical supplies and experts to many countries such as Iran, Pakistan, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam and Lebanon. PLA medical teams have also held virtual seminars with peers from Pakistan, Singapore and Russia. Mr. Wu said, "The pandemic is a common enemy to mankind. The PLA will continue to collaborate with foreign military authorities to jointly tackle the pandemic."